Hello, this is Albert. I'm here for round 4 of the Legacy League on February 26th. I am on the draw, and let's see what happens. Alright, so no blue spells, which is okay, seeing that we do have a decent amount of discard and removal. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this. He leads with Caracas, Aether Vial, and this matchup is not really fun. You know, Thalia is just such a pain, and you know, not only that, he leads with Caracas, and so the decay starts to look really bad. Um, you know, I could only hope to draw into Dark Ritual Doomsday or Dark Ritual Cantrip, and hope to kill him as soon as possible. But I think I'm going to have to lead with I'm going to lead with Badlands here because I want the Delta to fetch my Tropical Island. And we're going to Therapy naming Thalia because that's going to really stunt our growth. And sure enough, I'm not going to even bother probing because, in fact, if I nab Therapy, if I nab Thalia here and I draw into Doomsday, I do have a victory. So I don't want to waste my probe on that. So, sorry about that. I'm going to see... I see another Vial. Mother of Runes, which is really annoying because, again, that blinks my decay. Revoker is slightly annoying, and Prelate is just annoying. But the upside is that he has no lands to cast them. And so I'm basically going to try to shift gears and hopefully duress his other Vial and decay the one that's in play. So I whiff on this Therapy, but that's okay. He's gonna put it on 1 hit, and he does not draw land. He opts not to cast his Vial. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw and find another Dark Ritual. And so the previously mentioned play of trying to duress and then decay seems a lot better. I'm willing to burn a ritual to do so, if that means I get to stunt his growth, because there's nothing else putting creatures on the field. So we're just gonna go ahead and find our green source. And this is where it kind of sucks, you know, like he does have a second Vial, which means he gets to cast it and start, you know, putting creatures on the field. But you know, we don't have a choice anyway, so we're gonna take a Vial and then decay his active one. He's gonna put the Mother of Runes in play, and we're just gonna clench and see who draws better. Again, no land drop, so we're gonna go ahead and draw this brainstorm here. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it off because if I find a Doomsday, then we're in business. But we see nothing. Luckily, there's Fetchland Ponder. Since we can't really aggressively do much, we're just gonna go ahead and play the land and pass. We're gonna put the probe before the Ponder so that we get to see extra cards. Just on the off chance that it does matter. So. Make sure we develop our mana, probe, and this is when we see that our opponent has drawn Thalia and a Seravenger, which doesn't really do much right now, but the fact that he has Thalia is very annoying. We're going to ponder and see nothing, going to go ahead and fetch it away, drawing another Dark Ritual, and that's just not great. But we're going to see a second Carcass, which means Thalia, and this is big trouble for us. At this point, we're looking for Massacre, but that doesn't even do much because he doesn't have a Plains. So we're kind of, you know, struggling a little bit. We're going to draw into Doomsday, which is really interesting. I've never really comboed through a Thalia, but in this case, I think we are able to do so because of the second Dark Ritual. We're going to have enough mana this turn to Dark Ritual Doomsday. And I think because we have Probe, Lion's Eye Diamond, and Dark Ritual, we are allowed to set up a pile where so basically my rationale was to draw a Lion's Eye Diamond for turn, and then use the Dark Ritual to cast the two, using the Probe then to draw into an Ideas Inbound, which would draw the last 3 cards in my library, one of which would be Laboratory Maniac, and the other a cantrip, And I don't really count out the mana at this point, but we're gonna do it anyway. So the game wasn't gonna get any better, so we're gonna go ahead and yeah. I mean, even the line of putting a Burning Wish in the Doomsday pile wasn't gonna do anything because again, my opponent doesn't have plans. So we're just gonna fire it off and hope for the best. I go to 8 life, um, not within lethal range, but that is okay. So like I said, I'm gonna put diamonds and hope that is enough. He hit me for 2, and we're gonna see that he doesn't have a land, which is good for many reasons. Because even if he does draw Swords to Plowshares, he cannot cast it. So fortunately, I do the math correctly. Cast both my diamonds, go ahead and probe with life, and paying for it, and we see nothing. Gonna go ahead and draw into. Oh, I do put a land into my pile, just in case my math was wrong. So as you can see, that is sufficient mana, sufficient life, sufficient everything, and we combo off through Athalia, which is pretty neat. So this matchup's really uncomfortable. I really hate it. I'm gonna take away my duresses and put in my decays, as well as my second tropical island. I think boarding in Void Snare is completely wrong, because if you're burning wishing, if you're not burning wishing for a massacre, you're probably doing something wrong. So I think we're gonna board in actually the Void Snare, just on the off chance it matters. So plus prelate might name 2, prelate might name 1. You kind of diversify your answers in that regard. So we're going to open our hand and see 2 decays, which is great. A green source, but no black source. We are on the draw, so I'm inclined to keep it. Additionally, I have a probe. So I'm going to give this one a shot. It has a fair distribution of what we're trying to do. I do believe I'm going to lead Volcanic to play around the Wasteland. He starts port. No Vial, which is always great. Draw Petal, which is great. Well, not great. Okay, let me rephrase. It's passable. It is a black source for us. And we're going to go ahead and cast it here, because if he plays Thalia, then I'm going to spend an extra turn not doing anything. And I think Storm Count is not going to matter at this point. So we're going to go ahead and do that, see what he does. Canonist is actually not as scary as Thalia, because Thalia stunts our development, and development is extremely important in this matchup. Plus we have 2 decays. If we could find a second black source, then we are probably fine. It's not going to bother us too much. We do a draw delta. I think we go ahead and play the tropical island here, because we want to reserve our fetch or whatever. And plus, if he does something nasty, we do have decay available. A desperate decay, but a decay nonetheless. Sure enough, he has Wasteland and Thalia, which is a pain. So when he does Wasteland the tropical island, I have really no choice but to decay something. I think in this case, I thought about it. If you decay the Thalia and he has another one, then you're kind of screwed. But like I said earlier, what's really important in this matchup is being able to develop what you're trying to do. And if you can't cast spells, you can't develop. So we're going to go ahead and decay the Thalia to open up more possibilities. And he's going to surgical extraction my decays. And that makes me really uncomfortable, because that was my original answer to this current Aetherstorm Canonist. So at this point, I am banking for multiple draws, one of which being Doomsday, obviously, and the other Burning Wish, so I can Massacre. So that really sucks, but he's down 2 life and down a card. Draw Brainstorm. We're just going to go ahead and pass. Nothing much here. He's getting a Needle, and you see this a lot online. It's really sad, but he's going to name Lotus Petal. I mean, if he named Delta, I would have been so screwed, and I didn't even think about that. I was just going to assume that he was going to name Top or something, but not even Not even that. He names Lotus Petal and says go. Force my land on upkeep. I'm gonna get rid of that. And I draw another Brainstorm, and not gonna do much. Gonna get hit again. Just gonna play another Canonist. And so that makes sense, you know, like if I, well, yes and no. You know, I guess the reason why I said it makes sense is because he does want to keep the port up, so he wouldn't want to double up on Canonist. But you know, if I'm banking on say Void Snare, then you're right, and you know he's right. He does have me, but like that makes Burning Wish Massacre all that much stronger since he does have a Plains this game. So I'm not feeling that bad. He's going to port my Volcanic this turn, and since I do have a second Brainstorm, I'm just going to go ahead and fire one off. And since we are pretty good at this game, we draw a Burning Wish and a land. So in this case, since we did Brainstorm on upkeep, we do have a draw available. We're going to get rid of this Brainstorm and put any card on top because we know we're going to draw it. I don't remember if I Burning Wish this turn or not. But either way, like I said, since we are, during the match, I was kind of freaking out because I, you know, thought I was gonna have to waste a turn to draw, but this is my upkeep, so I'm gonna put back Brainstorm, anything, and I guess I'm gonna go ahead and reserve my fetch land here because if he, you know, if he ports one of my lands, then I can't really do much. So he's gonna go ahead and play a Revoker. Finally, I mean, he can name lands Diamond, so good for him. I'm gonna get hit, and so what am I thinking here? Do I want to draw that? Anyway, he's gonna port my land. I'm gonna fetch in response. I'm not particularly sure why, but it works out extremely well in our favor. We're gonna go ahead and Burning Wish for. Oh, we draw Therapy for turn, which is kind of okay, but we're gonna go ahead and Burning Wish for Massacre, and hope he doesn't draw Sanctum Prelate here. That would be what kills us. In fact, he doesn't, and so he tucks us down to 5. Now, if I Massacre, okay. Regardless of what happens, since I am at 5 life, I cannot Dark Ritual Doomsday and use my Probe. So this port is incredibly relevant if he taps my blue source. So I'm just kind of hoping he doesn't do that. But maybe I did mess up, and you know, maybe I should. No, the rationale behind going for the Badlands was that I have both a black and red source, and I needed that because I needed to cast the Burning Wish, and I needed to swamp and play. If he had drawn a Wasteland, then I would have been in trouble. But regardless, if I have to Massacre and like pass turn or something, that's not the worst. So we're gonna see a port on my Volcanic Island in for sure. And so, you know, at this point I need a petal or a land, and we have just been incredibly lucky tonight. We do draw a Delta, and we Massacre his guys away, and we set up the win. So there's that. Therapy naming Surgical Extraction just in case he has something wacky, like he plays 2 or something. You know, people are packing more of those because of the Reanimator decks, but we could go ahead and kill him with a pretty standard pile, making sure we don't use life, and kill him. And that is round 4.